this is going to be the first part of building our Robocop suit, and I'm going to show you guys how I start gluing all these pieces together. In order to get these large pieces like the chest armor to print properly on your print bed, you have to cut them up. And then the result is a bunch of pieces like so, and we got to start gluing together like a model kit. So I'm going to show you guys how I glue it together, or how I assemble these pieces together. There's a lot of builders on YouTube and on various other forums that have different methods. They'll PLA weld these things with a soldering iron and kind of melt them and weld them together. I don't do that. There's nothing wrong with that technique. You can learn how to do that. It just, for me, it takes way too much time to do that. So I've had great success and luck over the past 5-6 years with this stuff. This Super Glue brand, Super Glue. I get this at Dollar Tree. It's a 2-pack for $1. This stuff is strong. This is not your typical glue. And I'm just going to show you how I do it. I've already glued these pieces together. So here we go. Here's 2 pieces. I'm going to show you that we will joint together like so. Now what I use is a combination of 220 grit sandpaper or 180 grit. You can use either or, and a palm sander. So I'll get a palm sander and I'll go over this joint like so until it's pretty smooth. Just break me off a piece of my 180, and then I kind of just do a light sand over what I did. It might seem counterintuitive, and you're like, why are you sanding it twice? I don't know, I guess it's just safer measure. I've kind of always done it this way, just to get those little pieces that the palm sander might have missed, the little divots. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, that should be pretty good. Now we kind of want to start, the hardest part is kind of aligning it, but you can kind of do a tack glue. That's what I do. I stole that term from tack welding, but you just kind of, same concept. You'll get a little bit of glue, like so. Put it on there like that. I kind of put quite a bit. Make sure you wear a mask. These fumes can get kind of pretty strong. So here, I want to make sure I line that up real well. You don't have a whole lot of work time, so you want to make sure you line it up pretty decent. And that's almost perfect. Okay, now you have a little bit of a gap there, and what I'll do is I'm going to feed that super glue in that gap. So I'll do it in sections. So I have this tack welded right here on the side, okay? And then we have that little gap. So I'll take my super glue and kind of pour it or drip it all in that gap as much as I can. And then we'll close up that front part. Make sure we line it up good. The excess squeezing out is no big deal. That could all just be sanded away. No big deal at all. And just make sure you kind of hold it like so. It's cold today here in Texas. Just keep in mind that the weather will affect your super gluing. It's going to take longer if it's cold. If it's a warm summer day or even a warm spring day, it's going to cure really fast. Thankfully, with the cold weather, I have a little bit of lenience. But even with that, that's still glued. That glued pretty good on there. Alright, so we have a little bit of a gap here. It's not going to come out as much because we've already glued that, but it's still just enough for me to drip my super glue in. You are going to get super glue on your fingers, unfortunately. It's kind of the con of doing it this way, but that's okay. Make sure you have a little grinding or a pumice stone when you wash your hands, and you can get all that super glue off, no problem. Very nice. So that's it. There we go. We have our piece glued together. And then when we do our body work, once the chest is done, this will all blend in and look like one piece. Right now, it's not gonna look like it. But yeah, don't be discouraged at this point. It's okay. We'll get to that and we're gonna make it look all uniform. All right, so I'm gonna continue on gluing and then I'm gonna show you what the chest looks like all glued up. Alright guys, so now we have our finished chest piece. In terms of being glued together, we need to put the screw tidbits in, the tidbits here and right here. That's normal, no big deal. Yeah, so now what I'm going to start doing is taking my palm sander and kind of start to smooth some of these edges out here. It's not going to get all of it, but it will get some of it, enough of it, so when we come in with our body filler, we can make it even smoother.
On fire, I'm gonna push it over the wire. Perfect timing, tight as a drum. You find the battles already won. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I'll fight to survive.